Hello and welcome to another coaching video, and in this one we have a gold Jarvan versus a gold Shyvana. Now Jarvan is going to be a bit of a theme this week, only because I have an Agurin versus Dante's video, well, not them against each other, but the proactive versus reactive jungling concepts coming tomorrow on the main channel. Now, the thing is, when you talk about those things in gold, yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. See, in gold, the biggest thing for me that I kind of try and get everyone to understand, that's jungle denial, right? How can I best execute my game plan as Jarvan, as whatever, while suppressing the enemy jungle? Now, that will lean into the concepts of the video that we'll see tomorrow on the main channel, but for now, let's see what we can do as Jarvan here to step up the tempo a little bit and make sure Shyvana does not feel comfortable at all in this game. Now, level 1s, you can see wards across the board from blue team. This is standard stuff that we're seeing kind of trickle down quite nicely, unlike the economics of the world, which doesn't work at all. But, you know, you're seeing the skills really fall down. You know, 2 seasons ago, I made a video talking about warding Raptors as the most important thing you can do at 122 as a mid laner. And now a lot of mid laners are doing it. I didn't create it at all, but I reported on it and said, hey, look, this is a trend, and a few other channels did the same thing, and here we are, right? A lot of people, even in gold and silver, are doing it. Now, Jarvan, and this is where the misconception comes in, is a pretty good full clearing jungler. As you can see, the guy does his work absolutely fine, and he's faster than most gold Shyvanas will be. Do grump! Kermit he's lost his mind. Should be doing grump 100% for the good sequencing. Garen, obviously, here is existing as you would expect Garen to. The Xin Xiao guy's already gone back to base. And while we don't really start on the bottom side, right, we start on the top side to sequence down to gank bottom lane, you can start bottom side here to sequence up. However, in these elos, you still see it done a little too much. So I would try and get you to do a red side quadrant clear into, you see this happens so much. I'll explain in a second, but we're going for this shove on the Shyvana. The Ezreal mid is against the Volkaz. The Xin Xiao's going to rotate. We straight up have a 2v2. As long as they hit the same target, they should win this pretty easily. Nice EQ through both of them, forcing out the flash from the Shyvana. We get the kill from the El Garron, and Ezreal's able to create some, well, you don't want to get hit by that W from the Xin Xiao, but we'll take the kill as a Jarvan. So when we look at this as a jungler, right? And as always, please consider having a look at my jungle courses on my website, as well as joining us in the private jungle Discord to have access not only to the free jungle improvement PDF, but also weekly coaching classes, lectures, Q&As, and so much more, in addition to all of the jungle video courses included with it. The absolute jungle paradise for all junglers is Virkayu.gg. You finish this off, now you look at it, you're like, okay, Xin Xiao got back to base. I got my Garen here, nice. I got my Ezreal here, don't really care too much about that. I know Shyvana leashed here going up here. The problem with Shyvana is you don't want to be here at all. You don't want to be here at half HP on time for a Scuttle Crab when you're level 4. And the enemy jungler is going, level 3. And the enemy jungler is going to be level 4. That's terrible. And again, what's the worst clear in League of Legends that I still see way too much of? Red, Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, Blue, Scuttle, Gromp. Means you were so damn slow that you couldn't finish up a full clear by 330. Think how ridiculous that is, considering how they buffed the pets this season and how we used to full clear by 315. We would have to full clear by 315 crab if we wanted to fight for it. You know, Diana was doing it and Karthus was doing it, and if you were after 315, you take the crab. Or you would 5 camp. You would strategically 5 camp to get it as it spawned before the full clearer, who would usually be around like 315-ish, finishing, so they'd still have to travel to it. And that's what Kha'Zix would do, right? But you would skip out the Krugs. Now, it's a new reality, it's a new day, things have changed, and there's no real reason for us to be not full clearing by 330 on almost any jungler unless you're playing something horrifically off-mat, and even then, it doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Because Kais is serviceable at that regard, and you just go into practice tool, copy Agurin Shyvana, copy the best in the world at Shyvana, and just replicate it 1,000 times, you know, not in a row. You know, if you felt like doing that, I wouldn't stop you, but, you know, do a couple clears before every play session, every day, you know, but you don't want to go level 4 to level 3 fisting. Even as I said, you know, in the last video talking about the bottom lane doing the Scarlet Crab, they're just warding it here. You know, yeah, we'd have level 4 versus level 3 last season as well with a 315 Scuttle, but we're not looking to fight, right? You're looking to get the Scuttle and get out. And the Shyvana here is basically just not doing it now and wasn't doing it then probably, and that's why they're still golden. At least here we've got a decent, you know, recall straight to the outside and we'll take in the Scuttle Crab, which we of course see from the red side bottom lane. Now, We know that the Jarvan started on the blue side, went up, which means we know that that Gromp's going to spawn at 420. We know the guy's delayed here, but he'll come down to this side. So we know that she's going to fall back down to her red side. Ezreal has a bit of a HP advantage and a good wave advantage too. That's really nice. So she's fallen back down to here, but this is so inefficient. And that's why the sequencing is so damn important. So Jarvan knows by a very straight tracking, okay, I see the 20 CS Shyvana. Sorry, that's a lie. No, it's not a lie. It's the truth. A 20 CS Shyvana on the Scuttle Crab. She dies, right? I see her take this 24, so I know that these two camps will now respawn, she'll fall back to them. It also means that I could go Gromp, Wolves, Raptors, Krug, sequence top lane again, but I know Shyvana might try something in the bottom lane. So what I'm going to do is go Wolves, Gromp, and then reflex to the bottom lane gank. However, if something looks juicy before my Gromp is up, or before I do it, please react to the information on the map. So this, for me, is very good. Nice EQ here. Obviously, pay attention to some of the spells if she doesn't have it. Let your ADC get that. The flag gives it to you, and oof, that's a little unlucky. But, you know, like, the execution, that's still good, right? Obviously, Lux did Lux things. That's why we hate the champion. But that's great. Don't finish your Gromp. See the gank, do the gank, and now, obviously, we can go down. We see the Shyvana there with 28 CS, so we know she did one camp from her red side. Because we know she did red Krugs Raptors, we know that the Krugs respawn before the Raptors, so it's unlikely she goes Scuttle into Raptors, because they wouldn't be up. So she goes Scuttle into Krug, shows up here, now we know the Raptors are up. So if he's clocking this in his mind, and I hope you are following me, then we know, okay, look, she did the Krug, she's walking back this way, I can trap her, chunk her, shove her. Now I can take your Raptors, madam. Well, she has to go to the top side, and what I can then do is gank the mid lane here, pre-level 6 hopefully, but unfortunately that's where you are making the active decision. Do I do my Raptors and coin flip whether this guy hits 6 or not? Okay. Or do I just go gank it before 6 and then take the Raptors afterwards because I know she's gone to the top side? That's the kind of decision you have to make. Oh, he noticed! He noticed, very good. Obviously the Valkyrie does all some, so we're just going to go for a cheeky burn here if possible. There we go, perfect, perfect. It's exactly what you want. 100%, because now at level 6, that's a dead sushi roll, and obviously we're going to have the Shyvana doing this in the meantime. So, what I kind of like to do here is I would hit this first over this area, just in case she might be pushing to the top side. Why? Because we know straight up that the Garen is prio, the Xin Chao's going to hit 6 reasonably soonish, okay? And that's going to be an all-in lane. Level 6 Xin Chao, Shyvana will be level 5, you've got the Garen, and it's not about the champions here, because Garen should be okay. The thing is, though, you look at the scoreboard and you're like, that guy hasn't based at all. And the Xin Chao is a cull, which, you know, again, she has a sheen for some ungodly reason. So you're looking at this and it's just like, I don't actually know what will happen skill-wise, item-wise, champion-wise. So it's better just to hit the punt and say, yo, 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 Garen, she might be coming up. Ping it off here. Do your Raptors, do your Krugs, and you can shadow counter gank it if you want. But I would not invest time into sitting in the brush. We know she's most likely going to try it. Oh, she doesn't. She's disciplined. She says, I'm level 5, 6, 6. I don't want to do it because Jarvan's in the area. Good job, Shyvana. Very good. Very, very good. Now, she's not being proactive in that she has tempo control. She's just making a bit of a proactive decision to say, listen, I want to try and regain that control. And remember, proactive, reactive jungling isn't what you think it is. Video will explain all. It's just basically saying, how can I make not an aggressive, but how can I make a decision that tries to wrestle control from the Jarvan that allows me to accomplish my goals in this game? And immediately saying, look, I know Jarvan's sequencing upside. If I go for the gank, he's going to counter gank me. I know Garen's pretty strong, the wave's crashing. Too many, unknown variables. Let me just go back to base, buy something, go down, do my red. Hopefully, she's nowhere near 6, which is weird, but hopefully I can maybe try something from that. The thing is, Jarvan now will know, okay, look, she didn't gank, she based. She's coming to the bottom side, there's prio here. I'm level 5. I should be 6 after blue, so maybe I can take that. However, what should we be doing instead with our mid lane prio? We should be doing the Scuttle Crab, before she arrives, because this will give us 6. Then we can dunk the bottom lane, right? Push her out, and the jungle denial is complete. So this is a noble attempt by the Shyvana to try and wrestle something away, but the Jarvan wasn't fooled. He knew, right? He could have hit the plant to get a little bit of visual confirm, but he knew that if she doesn't gank, then she's going back to base. Which means I'm not going to waste my time on the top lane either, because the guy's winning. I'm just going to go back to base and try and cut her off matcher. The thing is, we should use the outside in rule to do the Scuttle Crab first, deny it, waste her time. Now we're dunking bottom lane, right? At this moment, we're dunking bottom lane straight up, and she's trailing this whole area. And she does her smite, she just decides not to go for it because she has no prio. So in this particular case, I think as Shyvana, you might have to say, is probably not available for me. Guy should do it. He obviously has 6 from the blue buff. And now we can go for this invade, which of course is seen, so little lack of scanning action. I mean, that hook looked like it wasn't going to hit, and then it did because, you know, that's what this guy does. Jarvan now a little bit lost in his aggression as Caitlyn does the damage to kill the, the Nautilus does the damage to kill the Caitlyn. Got that backwards for a second. There we go. There we go. Oh, did you flash? Let me give you a dunking. Applause in the chat because for a gold level game, I enjoyed that greatly. I really did. And the Shyvana says again, like, he's trying to deny me and cut me off. I need to wrestle control back. So she just cuts to the other side and says, look, I'm going to go straight for this Herald. Which is honestly, in this kind of game, not terrible. But what I would most likely do here is take the red first and then the Herald. The problem is we don't have the 9-minute plant. So it's like, you're wrestling a little bit with some more uncertainty, some higher risk. So she decides instead, let me just get the guaranteed shit, and then I can fall back to my blue side. Cool, nice, good beans, and so on. Or if you were level 6 and happen to be what she is, could we do something to the top lane level 8 Garen? And I think the problem is, if you feel like you cannot go and kill this guy in this moment, if you lack confidence in your mechanics, you like the right atomization build, you're letting him Warmog's passive up at this particular stage, you messed up too much early, because this should be a dead Garen, plus shove and deny, because your guy has no TP, because the guy has Ignite. You could activate the Herald plates just for yourself. Missed opportunity from the Shyvana. So lack of action, which is more about yesterday's coaching video, but interesting that she decided to go for these things. Jarvan decides to go to the top side here for his red. Skips out on his Krugs. No real reason to do that at all. You know, we're waiting for our ultimate to come up, obviously, so we're playing around that, but how good is our vision control? How good were we tracking this? We know Shyvana's falling back to this. There's no real reason to waste much time here, right? The focus for us is, look, Garen's doing his job and winning. Ezreal is surviving and has a 30 CS lead. I don't need to interact too much with this. What I need to do is keep that Shyvana out of the picture. So, because she took this and fell back to this, I can just go boom, 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 full sequence down. And if I need to cut it into any stage, I can do so, but ideally, I'm just going to do the same thing again to the bot lane. That's it. Because you know the Shyvana has that Herald. So, for her, she didn't show top lane, so she's not going to use it here. This is going to be a tough one to use it on. This is an easier one to use it on for her. So by Jarvan going topside here, we're kind of giving a little bit of, you know, control back to her. The guy really walks down into the river to ward in that particular position. That's a little ridiculous. I mean, I have no issue with the snowball. Like, I have no issue with doing that top lane at all. It's just, this is the kind of stuff I want to be here for, right? I want to ensure that my Kai'Sa and Nautilus don't get collapsed upon by the Shyvana, which is why I'd be sequencing down and cutting in to help them as soon as possible. Now you can clean this up and stop her activating this, because she's going to look to shove and activate this, and now you're walking in here, taking random camps you know are down, and that's where the disconnect happens, and that's where the Agurin video tomorrow will give you a lot of juice, because I explain how you can track at this phase, because people get lost in this phase. They really do, and in gold you're not going to be able to do it that easily, but we're wandering the abyss, the middle of, it's Mad Max. There's nothing here, it's a wasteland, you know? Why are we doing this? We should know that these things are done, because think about the timer. She takes a Herald, we get the global spawner, she shows at that particular stage with a blue buff, so you know blue buff is down, you know she took that whole side, and now he gets the benefit of being shilling top lane, which he shouldn't, but he will, and he does, and Shyvana obviously gets to get some cash money back. So 4.7 to 4.5. Do we think that we only deserve to be 200 gold ahead of the Shyvana? No. Dream bigger for yourselves, because that's just not the... Now we're just like sitting around, no econ. And that's when people fall apart on Jarvan. 100% that's when they fall apart. You should have just full sequence, kept your CS advantage, denied the bottom lane Herald, kept your bottom lane alive. That's a terrible EQ, but of course we're repositioning in the sane way, because we see the Shyvana here on this vision. So she's just going to ult out if you dunk her, so you can't exactly do it. 12 seconds on her ult. Bottom lane goes all in again. They get the kill. We should be shadowing this. So we've just stopped farming. Our econ is completely down. Now he's going to wait for her to ult before he dunks her, hopefully. But obviously if she has flash, well, now it doesn't matter. Don't walk. If you commit to that, see it through. Acknowledge you are dying, but it doesn't matter because she dies too and your bot lane is winning, and that's all that matters. Don't start walking away because you're wasting auto attack time, especially if you E-flag down. Just hit, 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 hit. Alright? And of course, use your gold drink animation cancel, right? And also press the button. That does help a lot. So yeah, that's what professional Jarvans do so well. Is that weaving those extra autos, they get the active down as well, they're able to sustain and heal a lot more. And obviously, even earlier when you've got the Thirsting Slash, right, there is this damage, but it's also the HP restore as well. Oh, see, that one misses. So, it's a big thing to miss, right, when something does damage and heals you, and gives you that extra auto that people are not using on Jarvan at all. So, Jarvan threw it away completely in that second part of the early phase, which is why on the main channel I made a video. The most OP part of the early game that no one talks about. And it's about the 7 to 12 minute marker where people just... You can be juiced and fed, and you fall off the edge of the map. It's like you don't exist. All your work is undone by your decision making. And, see, there we hit it. And the problem with that is... Or did he actually? No, missed it. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. Make sure you hit it. That's the lesson here. Make sure you press that gold drinker button. So, it's just about, like, don't stop believing. Because what happens is, you kind of do this. You wonder, you meander, and now you just stop thinking about the Shyvana. This whole game, he's been thinking about the Shyvana, the denial, the pressure, the ganks, which led to snowball. And it's great that he really snowballed the Garen, but we could have kept her down. Now, she's 2-on-1, okay? She's up on gold. She's literally up on gold by 500, because now what she can do is, and she's going to be even further up on gold here if she can actually hit this, waiting for the silence. Oh, Garen is so fast and furious. She should be able to still get him. Where are you going? Oh. Never mind. Well, she should have been able to get him, but she misplayed that a little bit. The point being, right, why is she ahead on gold? Why is she even ahead on CS? And this big took the foot off the pedal. Words don't even come to me. Ah, there you go. Good wait for the Lux Salt. Then he just might. Don't coin flip it to someone who totally didn't lose Dragon to Lux the other day. Not me. Someone I know. Brother maybe. Maybe a friend. Ooh, this is a good one. Yeah, let's go for the dive without the wave crashing when they know that we've just done the dragon and the Lux can see everything. Instead of just, you know, maybe hopping up bot lane, shoving, and then diving at Giga. So the guy's lacking that second phase pressure. I'm really confident that the main channel video that you're looking at on the main channel tomorrow, that's going to be huge for you guys watching this video. 100%. This is going to be really good. Like, super fun. Falling back to the Scuttle Crab. Bottom lane should shove, and I think what we have here is now pretty one-dimensional shove, but let's see if the Jarvan does what he's meant to do, because we all know the throws do occur as Ezreal chills mid lane. There we go. But because we're down on our golden experience from where we should be, yeah, we're able to get a kill, but we don't have the damage, right? We have, what, 1400 in pocket? We're just behind from the ability to build that Spear of Shojin and truly just kill people here. Because if you had the, see now he's doing the Death Dance stuff, just go Spear of Shojin, get that BF sword, right? Kill people now. Because your lead is maintained, your lead is it keeps going, it escalates. And Ezreal, look, Ezreal's doing a great job, right? He's at 6.2, but he's only 100 of gold ahead of the Vel'Koz, because Vel'Koz gets this free stuff in other places, which is not good at all. No, no, no. So, we have a bit of downtime actually in this game, if you can believe it. Everyone coalesces and groups together and meets for a little fisting on the Herald. The Shyvana decides not to worry about that. We'll keep that up as well. We snack that away. Shyvana should just be farming. They have numbers. Xin Zhao's bottom lane. Lux is just going to poke, wave clear as much as you can. Xin Zhao gets the bounty on the turret. This guy falls back to his red side, pathing away from his team. Not always what you want to be doing in the mid-game phase, but Garen is here, so we can shadow technically. But we know the Shyvana will be on the bottom side because of where she was when we were doing the Herald. Ezreal's just going to shove this up, most likely get collapsed upon. We're farming. A lot of quiet time here. She doesn't actually do that. He backs off. I'm amazed. Gold ADC mid laner decided, I cannot push past vision line here, so I'm going to go back to base and not die. That's growth for you, my friends. Now, Jarvan here is with the Herald watching this. Is he the one that gets collapsed upon? Let's see. Misses the EQ combo. W doesn't really do anything. Now he's stuck in the ult with the Xin Zhao, and he's just getting beat up 1v1, basically. Oof, he should have moved. See, the Xin Zhao doesn't know his champion. He should have moved in, knowing that that next W was going to be up that he could use to finish it off again, but he did not. In the meantime, we've got here Shyvana getting exhausted and fighting and killing our ADC, which is a problem, because our ADC is the big one-fed member we want to support. And now they've got 5 people here, while Garen is rotating over. Nice EQ dunk. See, now imagine if we had Spear of Shojin built and a BF sword and a lot of damage, but that was a really nice turn EQ from us. Ugh, that was a little ugly spin, but we are Garen. Hello, I am Garen. I'm Garen, nice to meet you. Do you know the temperature of boiling water, let alone what water is? That's Garen, and yet he gets to do those things. So that's pretty good. Right. We're seeing here that Jarvan has done a good job early. Has not done a good job in the second phase. But, because he did help his team and deny the Shyvana long enough, they're able, nice smite, they're able to actually still get the third dragon. They're able to actually translate their lead. But the big problem is, go to the Baron. Let's go. Baron, Baron, Baron. There we go. Obviously, track your smite with the Lux. Don't coin flip it as you know, we should be doing in low elo. Always coin flip your Barons, apparently. That's what I was told by silver players. We just have to do it, no matter what. Keep your vision. They show up, just go kill her. Someone go kill the Lux, make sure she can't alter, because that is a problem when you have no smite. Now, this is good. Like, this is really good mid-game stuff from everybody involved, right? This is solid. Everyone has done a good job. And again, it's because of Jarvan denied the Shyvana. She wasn't able to get her footing. We impacted the right lanes. Even though the top lane stuff I don't think we needed to do, we helped the Garen really, really snowball, and that's all we really need to focus on. Wonderful, wonderful, wunderbar. And now we have Baron, we should be able to shove and get an inhib. Over the wall and far away. Shyvana's just diving in. This build is great, but this build is great if you can actually split a little bit. If you're a bit behind or you're struggling a little bit in the game state, it's not exactly the best one to rush, but I would definitely say Cleaver's fine because we have Kai'Sa, because we have Ezreal, but you must remember that Armor Shred is less relevant because you have that Armor Shred on your queue, and Ezreal and Kai'Sa both hybrid damage dealers. They don't really benefit as much from that Armor Shred, and they have no tanks. Literally no tanks. So it doesn't really do much. You might as well both Spear Shojin have giga rotational power and one-shot ability, which we all enjoy, right? I do. Because Ezreal has also gone for the AP build anyway. We have enough AD, so might as well extra AP it up, I guess, from his perspective. Now they're just shadowing, looking for picks and tricks. We have two more, well, hopefully not. We have 2k golden pocket, cheap face checks. We'll get an auto, we'll get an EQ going. We'll just sit in the middle of nowhere, then we'll do some dunkings, trap ourselves, and die. Keep them trapped so Garen can escape. What a noble Jarvan. But yeah, you don't want to do that. Pay attention to back timers, spawn timers. You have 2k, just go back. Stay with your Kai'Sa, stay with your Nautilus. So it looks like he might just get bailed out a little bit here by his team. But he enabled them, he did a good job, and then you deserve the win, right? But he didn't have the lead experience-wise, gold-wise, and tempo-wise once we got into the second part of the early game that he should have over the Shyvana. And that's what I want you to take away from this. Hopefully, provides you a little bit of insight into the Jarvan pressure game. And hopefully Wednesday's video on the main channel helps beef that up as well. But, Virkayu for your courses, coaching, weekly classes, anything you need as a jungler, really. And hit the Nexus, hit the Nexus, hit the Nexus, hit the Nexus. You can do it, Nautilus. You can do... Thank you, Ezreal. Just hit the fucking Nexus. Alright, see you in the next one.